African Americans heavily influence sports to make it a better and diverse environment. Most of them wanted to break the color barrier of sports. The one person that almost everybody knows about is Jackie Robinson for baseball. But there are other African Americans who made an impact on sports and probably had a bigger impact than Jackie Robinson. Today we're going to talk about other African Americans that broke the color barrier for sports and give you a better view on who else contributed in desegregating sports that used to be predominantly white.
People have generally been exempted from sports during the early and mid 20th century. This is true in basketball, where back then it was 100% white. This is a huge difference to present day NBA or NCAA. Over 75% played in those two leagues are black. One of the pioneers is a college student who studied in Columbia University in New York. His name was George Gregory. Gregory was the first African American to win All-American honors in the 1930 and 31 school year. He was a big scorer during the era of low scoring because the shot clock was not yet invented. Gregory averaged 9.2 points per game, the second highest in his team. But what he excelled in was his defense. He only allowed opponents 8 baskets in 10 games. When Gregory was chosen to be Columbia's next captain, the school's athletic commission and the coach refused to accept this. They were going to do whatever they can to not have a black or Jewish captain. This matter split up the school in half, as there was as much supporters as dissenters. Another person that broke the color barrier for sports is Kenny Washington. Washington was an African American that played football as a professional. In college, he led the nation in scoring. Before, when Kenny Washington was trying to get drafted to the NFL, there was a ban against African Americans that made him unable to play in the NFL that was caused by George Preston Marshall, who was the owner of the Washington Redskins. Teams during that time didn't draft African Americans, so Washington wasn't drafted. After that, he took the second best thing to do, and that was to play in the semi-professional football league. But 6 years later, the NFL ended the ban race, since the Los Angeles Rams were threatened of losing the lease to the stadium unless they signed an African American to their team. That's when they decided to draft Kenny Washington. Kenny's life excelled after he got drafted. He ran an average of 6.1 yards per carry during his 3 years with the Los Angeles Rams, and broke a franchise record and made a huge statement to other teams in the NFL that from anyone from other races can make spectacular plays other than whites. He influenced the NFL a lot, and because of his extraordinary performance and during his career, he was able to break the color barrier in American football for all races to play.
African Americans didn't just break the color barrier for other races. They raised the standards of the sport they played in. Kenny Washington played football for the Los Angeles Rams. After when he got drafted, he proved the country that African Americans can do amazing things like whites do. Kenny Washington made a franchise record by running a 92-yard touchdown run. After that, owners from all the other teams in the NFL didn't just want white football players. They wanted an African American football player on their team. They wanted an African American football player who could do what Kenny Washington did against the Chicago Bears in that game. Also, when Kenny Washington made the franchise record, it created a lot more competition. Kenny Washington raised the standards for the NFL so that every wide receiver, white or black, wanted to break Kenny Washington's franchise record.
This has opened up new opportunities for all races, as it might be to get a higher education, or maybe the opportunity to break a world record in the sport. It currently ranks #1 in regional universities in the North. It's also a little expensive to attend. Sports scholarship is a great way to help ease that pain of high scholarship. Is a great way to help ease that pain and allow students to attend great schools like this one. Because of this, the university becomes more accessible to all class groups. This means that through sports, Villanova, a predominantly white school, can become more diverse as it opens up the chances for all races to be able to join through sports scholarships, with a little help with the grades. For this reason, Villanova is 75% Caucasian, and the other 25% is made up of various races. These events affect These events also affected our future great Johnny Cueto. He's Dominican and the starting pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, who pitched for 9 games straight now since the beginning of the season. He is on his way of breaking the world record set in 1909 by Harry Krause, who pitched 10 games straight from the beginning of the season for at least 7 games straight. He only allowed less than 5 hits per game. No pitcher has come close to this record since the 1900s, the nearest being 5 games. Johnny Cueto has gone now for 9 games straight. Johnny Cueto has gone 9 games straight now that he's pitched at least 7 innings and has allowed less than 5 hits. Johnny is only 1 game away from tying up for the world record and another game away from breaking the world record. It has taken over a century to become near tied up with. The color barrier being broken, we are now able to experience fans from around the world play our favorite sports, adding a new challenge and style. If the barrier had never been broken, then we might not experience a world record such as this being broken in this century. Maybe it would have taken another century, or maybe it would have never been broken at all. So we thank Africans in the night crowd and fighting for what they believed in. Because if it wasn't for them, we might be looking at a very different future if it wasn't for the brave and daring ways.